was on SportsCenter in 1996. And then a couple months later, I was paired up with a good friend and a colleague of mine, and somebody who I know you know as well, who Cari champion here on the Rich Eisen Show. I'm going to turn a little bit here. It was 4 years ago today that Stu passed.
Yeah.
Stuart Scott, who I did more TV with than anybody at ESPN.
I get emotional.
I know. I know you're tearing up. I do too.
Yeah.
You know. So, what is your recollections of Stu?
So when I first started working there, and everyone has this story, so I'll try to keep my emotions in check.
All good.
I mean, he was really special. So when I first started working there, I had to work on that show, First Take, right? It was a tough show, and I didn't really know, I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
That's a deep pool that you were thrown into.
I was, and they were like, figure it out. And so a lot of people would just kind of ignore the toughness of it. And that place is a lonely place if you're not from there, And I'm a kid from Los Angeles, and I'm living in Bristol, Connecticut, and I'm figuring it all out. And I figured it out, sink or swim. I figured it out. But there were days where I was just, I wasn't feeling it. And I never really complained because no one cares. But one day I had a really tough day on air. And I remember thinking to myself, okay, I don't know how long I can stay here. I don't know if I can do this. This is tough. This is stretching me beyond my skill set. And I remember doing a commercial break, and I just thought I was saying it to myself. I lean over, and I just grab my phone, because you check your cell phone as we do. This ADD. So I check my cell phone, and there is a message from the one and only
Stu.
And he was like, while you're dealing with all of this, stay elegant and classy, and above it all, you're doing great, kid. I almost lost it on air. But is that not him?
Come on.
Come on, right? Is that not who he is? And then when we knew he was really, really sick, when we say we, because everyone knows, we all had this conversation one time, and it was when Jamel and Michael were working, and we were sitting at our local bar there in Bristol, and we were just kind of, we kind of knew it was coming, and we all wanted to talk about how great he was. And then we all put out our phones, because if he sent you a message, you would save it. And each one of us had a very special, personalized message from him. He told Jamel, "You're the only one that can do what you do. Don't ever forget that. You are the best." He told Michael, "I'm so proud of you. I love watching." I mean, we were reading these messages from this man, and he didn't just do it for me and for Jamel and for Michael. He did it for Cassidy Hubbard. He did it for Kevin. He did it for everybody. He was so generous and so caring about us, this group of talent, and he knew what we were going through, but he didn't want to get into the minutia of it all. He was just like, keep your head up.
Yeah, because I think that's a great way to put it, Cari champion here on the Rich Eisen Show, because the minutia, the reason why I think he probably didn't want to get into it with you is because you can get caught up in all that stuff.
And that's not the point.
No.
Yeah.
The point is to be yourself.
Yep.
That's the point.
And that's what he was saying to every single one of us. Stay yourself.
That's right. Because the number of times that he was told about the minutia, and he just discarded it, and he was himself. I lost track of that. And it was inspirational to me too, knowing how much he was going through. And the thing that I cannot believe are the number of Stuart Scott, I don't want to use the word imitators, because I imitate a bunch of people on TV too, from when I grew up too.
Yeah, sure.
But people who he has clearly inspired. And now you don't bat an eyelash when somebody's dropping some form of hip hop lyric during a sports cast, or does something completely personal that has nothing to do with pop culture racially. It's just themselves. He would put it out there.
Yeah.
He was amazing.
He was
like that.
He was like the definition of authenticity, and he made me comfortable being myself on air there. Right. Because that's the only way you're going to be able to truly affect people and connect with people and be personal. And some people don't believe in that, and I believe in that wholeheartedly, and he encouraged everybody to do that.
Yeah, my wife and I looked at each other. We're like, can't believe it's been 4 years.
It's been,
well, because, I met my wife in Bristol.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Well, all about, again, about what your social life could be up there in a
good
small
time.
Community. Okay.
It's a party.
Well, no.
What do you mean?
I met her up there, and she just wanted to be friends. And Stuart would always be pushing the two of us together.
To hang out?
Oh, yeah.
I could see that.
Oh, yeah. He was playing matchmaker, and he was saying, hang in there to me, and he's telling her, hey, he's not so bad, and... and Stu would always be just, And I just seeing the way he was with his daughters, you know, it inspires me with my little 5-year-old. I mean, not to get too deep here, obviously, even though we are.
Yeah.
I just, you know, there's not many people who obviously know him. So these days,
you had what I think for so many people is the invaluable times. You got to be on air with that legend. And I would have killed to do that. I would have loved to have a show with Stuart. I would have loved it.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.